Have you ever felt drained after a live video? You're a coach or a consultant and you're actually highly driven and you kind of push yourself a lot. And so, because of that, by the end of the live video, you feel exhausted, you feel drained. Now, if you're ready to prioritize your well being while scaling your business with videos, this video today is for you. Now, if you've ever felt drained and exhausted during your live videos or after, you're actually not alone because a lot of coaches and consultants feel the same way. Okay. So, first of all, I want you to relax knowing that it is a big deal, but you're not the only one. Okay. And what I want to hear from you, first of all, before we jump into everything, is what is the biggest challenge that you're facing when it comes to actually coming up with a live video strategy for your coaching or consulting business? What's the kind of challenge that you're having? I'd like to hear that in the comments. For those that are watching the replay, please put that in the comments as well, because I would love to engage with you. I'd love to know how we can help you. There are so many reasons why you would finish your live stream and actually feel drained. And many of them are actually normal because, first of all, think about the tech. Think about the tech and the aspect of actually setting up the tech and managing the live stream. It is a lot. It requires a lot, and physically it can be tiring. So that's one thing that you need to pay attention to while you're doing your live stream, that the tech is a lot of work. The other thing is it takes a lot of energy to actually be present and engaging during a live stream. And this is one of the reasons why you'd finish, and because you were managing a lot of things, okay? You need to be present, you need to see what's going on. Like right now, I'm gonna just take a look and see what's going on with the stream, right? And I can see some of you are live with me, and I'm glad that you're here. I get frustrated with my words, with like hums, and as a matter of fact, those are real. And if you would notice that I have some of those as well. One of the things that I say is, and I say as well. Sometimes we put a lot of pressure on ourselves. You put a lot of pressure on yourself to actually perform and deliver valuable content. Now, valuable content and performance, those are two different things. And we're going to break this down a little bit later, okay? But one thing that I want you to know is these are the reasons why sometimes you feel frustrated, sometimes you feel drained, because by the time you're done, you're just like, But I want you to relax. And this is what I'm going to be giving you today. One other challenge that coaches and consultants have, and is the biggest one, okay, is the ability to clearly communicate the solution that your product brings to people. Now, I see a lot of people doing promotional videos. So you just go and you say, hey, you have this problem, you need this formula, buy my thing, okay? These are good, okay, if you find people that are actually like, they're already looking online with their credit cards, okay? And they're ready to buy. But most of the people that you're going to be relating with are not at that stage. Sometimes they're just meeting you. Now, some of them already know you. In order for you to actually be able to clearly communicate in a way that converts, you need to relax and you need to calm down and clearly communicate what you do. Now, I see a lot of people communicate promotion and not value, okay? Promotion is very different from value. Always remember, in the golden method that I teach you here, value is extremely important, more than performance, more than, promotion, because you want to leave your audience better than before you met them or better than before they watched your video. So this is why when I'm working with my clients, the very first thing that we work on is your clarity. Because when you have a clear message and the value proposition, your value proposition to the audience, to the viewer, the easier part of it is you just communicating and sharing and helping and connecting, right? It's much easier that way. Now, what usually stands in the way is you feel like you're salesy, okay? Because now once you begin to produce just promotional videos, you start to feel salesy. And that was what we were talking about last week, all right? We don't want to feel salesy. We actually want to feel helpful. Now, there's a balance in, if you didn't watch that, there's a video right there, and just say salesy in the comments and we're going to tag you on that video so that you can watch that, because it's extremely important, for you to give and sell with ease. You want to naturally bring your audience to the next step. I did that last week. Again, you can watch that right there. Okay. So now I'm actually getting a call and I'm going to cancel that. Okay. So what was I saying? I got distracted there. Okay, so now what you need is a holistic live video strategy that prioritize your own well-being. And now, this is extremely important to me because I want you to be able to go out there, help people, but not just help people, build your business as well. As a coach and a consultant that has services that you can provide to your audience, you must be in your best health. Okay, in order for you to be able to get more people. And this is why I have a couple of things that I want you to put in place in your video. We're talking about how do I develop or build a holistic strategy in my business in order for me to actually, prioritize my well-being and have people follow and have people buy, right? You need to understand your goal and target audience. If you don't understand your goals and your target audience, you're not going to be able to, first of all, show up as you are. Okay, you're also not going to be able to show up in a way that engages your audience and helps them. Okay, this is actually the very first thing that I do with my clients. We set your goals. Okay, and some of you already, in here are business coaches, you have business coaches that you work with and all of that. The very first thing is once your goal in the business, inside of your business, what you're trying to achieve must be clear. It must be clear. It's extremely important that you know what you're trying to achieve with that video, okay? With your video strategy. I see a lot of people that are just like, okay, maybe I should do videos. And it doesn't end anywhere, and that's why confusion comes in. And that also is the reason why a lot of the shiny objects would actually look really interesting. In short, not just interesting. If depending on how smart and how great the person that is selling the shiny object is for you, you actually see yourself jumping after them. So once you know what your goals in the business, the goals that you have for the business is, the next thing is to actually know the goals that your target audience have. The reason behind that is once you know that and you're able to merge the two together, I want to get 5 clients this month, and my clients want to have better health, okay, in their, maybe in their body, they're not feeling well or whatever it is, right? You know the goal that your ideal client has. Now, it's easier now to remove the stress and the pressure that comes with not knowing what to do, okay? Not knowing what to say, not knowing what to, and all of this are extremely important. Now, for those of you that were not at the bootcamp last week, I'm going to be hosting another one because this is where we actually work on the kind of videos that you must be making your own in your specific niche. I'm going to be doing another bootcamp soon. And this is also going to involve your live video strategy, because once you have a clear roadmap of what my videos would be doing in the business and how many of them I should be doing, the kind of videos that I should be doing, you see that the burden of feeling I don't know what to do or what to say, you start to see that reduce, okay? And to the point where it actually disappears completely. The second thing that you need to do is you need to also know that your skills at doing live videos would also improve as well with practice. Okay, with practice and with practice and analysis of your performance, you actually get better. You actually develop some skills, okay? The skill of knowing, somebody is talking to you, your screen is here. Where do I check, my comments? What are people saying? Like, your skill. After a while, you build the muscle that allows you to go live and actually do your videos without feeling stressed or tensed or all that, right? So very important that you don't expect that you're going to be 100% immediately. Expect that you're going to build your skills through practice, okay? And then the next thing, and which is now the best and the main thing that I want you to pay attention to today, is I need you to, and actually this should be number one of the point today, but I just wanted to, make sure that you're ready, pushing yourself, you're taking the action, you're not ready to, give up, you're ready to push, right? And you're going to do whatever it takes. Many of my clients, I can remember each person saying to me, whatever it is that is required, whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do that. Why? Because you're ready. You want to push yourself. You're so used to pushing yourself and you're very driven, right? But the main thing right now is you need to prioritize your well-being. And how do you do that? You need to take some breaks, okay? Sometimes it will require you to take some breaks. Karen says, I'm ready to build my skill through practice. Yes. Karen was sharing in the client group yesterday about how on YouTube, she actually reached 4,000 watch hours. I should give you some. My clients are very ready, okay? Very ready to take action, whatever it's going to entail to actually achieve the goal that you have. I know you're the kind of people that would actually do that. So great job, Karen. Now, take advantage of what I'm saying and actually prioritize your well-being. Take breaks. Now, today is Friday, right? I'm recording this on Friday. If you're watching this on another day, today is Friday, right? And what that means sometimes is if your work schedule, if the time that you do your work is during the week, then stick to the week. During the weekend, it's time to take a break. Okay. Now, it's extremely important that you remember this. Many emerging coaches and consultants find it hard to actually take a break. You know why? Because, you're not yet there. We say you're not yet there. And then sometimes the question is, what is there? Okay. What is there? When are you going to get there? Anyway. So you feel you're not yet there. And because of that, you don't feel like, you should take a break. Somebody is messaging you during the weekend and you're responding to them. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't respond during the weekend, but you need to check and make sure that sometimes you actually take care of yourself. Practicing personal care is extremely important, and having a healthy balance, between the way you're working, how you're responding to people that are your clients, how you're responding to people and engaging with people that you have in your audience, right? All of this are extremely important that you don't forget, okay? Because all of the people that are in your world, in your ecosystem that want the service that you provide, trust me, they prefer that you are healthy than you break down and you're not able to help them. Let that sink for a moment. Your ideal client prefers that you're healthy, and this is the reason why you must prioritize your well-being whenever you're doing all this live videos and social media work, right? Because it's right there on your phone. And so because of that, you feel, you know what, I'm going to just, respond. But sometimes you need to just take a break. Once you're done with a thing, relax. Now, sometimes the breaks would come in chunks, okay? Sometimes you would have, the break on a daily basis. Some people actually put their phone in another room, okay? I used to do that, but I don't need to do that anymore because I already have the habit of not going back to it. Now, once in a while, if I feel like it, is okay, but make sure that it's not hurting you, okay? Practice and then get used to it and make sure that you build it into your lifestyle. And then sometimes you may also begin to look at how can I structure monthly breaks, or you go for the 90 days, stretch, and you push, and then you go away. So you have to look at all of these things, even though your business is still, at the level that it's not exactly where you want it to be. Practicing self-care and building a business, one of the things that I pay attention to is you don't want to build a business that is a monster. And if you build a business that is a monster, it's going to drain you. We're not just talking about the live videos, but the whole business, okay? So make sure that if you're already used to responding in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. for people that are in Australia, which is great, but let people know. I have clients in Australia. I have clients in Europe. And what we do, and I'm in North America, right? What we do is I know my work hours. Have a work hour, have your own structure, and plan all of that into when you go live and how you go live and all of that. So I spent a lot of time on that because I want you to take it seriously, okay? Now, the next thing right there is create a plan and stick to it. Okay. Now we're talking holistic live video strategy. Many of the highly driven coaches would say, how many times should I go live? In short, somebody said to me the other day, I want to go live every day. Sometimes you don't need to. Okay, the question is, what kind of strategy are you implementing right now? Once you know what strategy you're implementing right now, then you know how often you should go live. But I would want you to go live consistently. And then depending on the kind of videos that you're making as well, would determine the kind of results that you're going to get. Some of you know already that what I recommend for you to do is actually go live. And then once you're done going live, then you cut those videos into small chunks and use them as reels. Now, when you do that, you actually would have a lot of results. You have a lot of people that your live video wasn't able to reach. Like, for example, this we're doing inside of my group, and it's going to go to YouTube next week, okay? So it's It's a strategy that I'm implementing. Sometimes I would do a video like the one I did last week and I cut out a reel. One of the platforms gave me 4.5K views. These are people that I don't know from different parts of the world, right? And this is the kind of system. Because again, the question is, what exactly are you working on? What's the plan that you're working with in your business right now? When we work together, I want to know what the plan that your coach has for you is, and then we actually build your video marketing into that, because a business that is not marketing is actually dead or getting closer to dying. Now, you can build a business to a point where you really don't need to market anymore. You already have, but then you won't be here, okay, at this point. So right now, I want you to begin to look at, what's plan that do I have, and then stick to it. Now, this again, I'm going to bring it back to the shiny objects, because you're going to meet a lot of amazing deals. In short, my program or my thing may be a shiny object if you look at it very well, because some of you may actually be at a stage where, maybe right now you don't need to do live videos. But if you need to do live videos, actually, there's nobody here. If you're inside the group that doesn't need to do live videos, that's why you're here, okay? But if you're watching it on YouTube and you're like, I don't know, I want to know, blah, 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 right? That's okay, okay? And we're going to look at you and say, what kind of videos should you be making and what should you be saying in your videos that will position you as the expert in your niche? Number 5 would be leverage your data and the analytics and use that to refine your strategy and measure your progress. Again, it's a business. So if you're going to be doing your business, you need to actually analyze the kind of results, the kind of activities that you're putting into the business. Live video is one of them. If you don't measure and review and measure and review, you're not going to see the progress. I just told you I had 4.5K views last week. Okay, now 4.5K views is something else. There's something else that it's doing, okay, in the business. And as much as the 4.5K viewers are not really my ideal clients, it helps my ideal clients to see the work that I'm doing and to see the respect that is there, the authority that I have. And this is the reason why every single thing that you're doing, your videos, the strategies that you're putting in, you actually need to measure them, find a way to track, okay, what you're doing. Sometimes you put it on an Excel sheet, and if you have a team, you actually have them do some reviews with you. If you have little children around that can help, you can do that too. I get my children to do some work, with me, and sometimes I pay them, sometimes I give them TLC, right? Tender loving care to get, more of the work done, right? But no, really, you need to leverage on the analytics that you're getting from the videos that you're doing, and then measure your progress. And the reason why this is extremely important for your well-being is if you don't know the kind of results that you're getting, if you don't know the kind of progress that you're making, what's going to happen is more worries, more stress, more burnout, more exhaustion. We don't want all that. If you put things, anybody that knows me knows that I love Excel, right? Any single thing that you want to do, I'm like, let's put it on Excel and see how it works, how it's going to flow. And so if you put it on Excel and you can see the math, you can see how, you have your own system that you use, My clients use Excel with me all the time, right? But if you have a system that you use, sometimes it's just on a notepad, on your notepad, on your notebook and your dreams journal, right? You put it down. How many people did we reach out to? How many people did we get liking this? How many people responded? So all of this, we need to look at it and then try to tweak and adjust so that you can start to see better results, okay? Now, the last piece of the puzzle that I have for you is actually what I just said: engage with your audience and build meaningful relationship with them. Meaningful relationships are extremely important because you engage with them, you know what they want, you know the challenge that they are facing, you know the stress that this is bringing for them, and then you actually give them exactly what they need. Now, after a while, you would have the same challenge repeating, okay? The same challenge repeating over and over again. And now you have a library of content and videos, live videos like this, that would actually be an answer to the question that that person has, right? As you're building meaningful relationship and interactions with them. Again, it's not just about buy my thing, because again, some of them are not at the point where they have their credit card out. Okay, so don't forget that. Okay, so engage with them in a meaningful way that helps them to feel that you understand them and you're not just out there to sell. But obviously, they should know that you have a product to sell as well. However, some of them are not ready right now, and that's okay. Okay, so give me in the comments what are some of the challenges that you're facing right now what's the challenge that you're facing right now to come up with your own live video strategy in your business. There was a time that I was really traveling pre-COVID, and sometimes I'd be doing my live stream in the airport while waiting for the next flight. And that's okay, because that's part of the thing that I also recommend, that you leverage some of the assets that you have, the time that you have. You've sorted the children out, then, back in the days, sort the children out, and then just turn to the other side and just bring out my phone and do a live stream. You can do all that. However, as long as it's not causing you to be exhausted by the end of the whole thing. If you're ready to take your video to the next level and you want to actually get better, coaching and consulting, and you want clients in your business, and you're looking for a holistic strategy now, and you actually want support, okay? Support with, my team and I would love to meet with you, okay? So feel free to reach out by DM, and I'm going to send you a link to my calendar so that we can actually schedule a call to look at the strategy that you have currently and take things to the next level. But for all of you, what I want to leave you with today is the idea and the notion that you're able to shine your light and you're able to bring hope and freedom and your solution and formula and strategy to people because you're healthy. So stay healthy and put your well-being as number one. Take breaks, practice self-care, and maintain a healthy work-life balance.